to mention Valentina Amaral, who is in the mix as well. Missed her freshman year due to injury, but they expect big things from Amaral, who is the starter for the future. We'll see if she gets a chance in the near future as a sophomore. Deeks get things started and goes out of play. A couple of changes we'll mention in the lineup for the Deeks that we didn't touch on already. In midfield, Abby Colton is the holding midfielder. That's the usual, but in front of her, Emily Colton, her sister, getting the start in place of Malika Mina, who is rested. And also up front, we talked about Hannah Johnson. She gets the start with Emily Murphy getting to rest her legs after just so much travel this year, getting caps for the Republic of Ireland national team on the road with the Deeks. A lot of travel for Emily Murphy. Temple will have a free kick here. Early set-piece opportunity less than a minute in. Center back for Temple is the one to take most of their set pieces, Phoebe Holland. You'll see her take corners as well. She takes a shot on net that comes so close from what has to be at least 40 yards out, Ty. That was a missile with her right foot.
That really was a missile. I think that surprised everybody, and of course even the goalkeeper has just been able to patrol and guard that post there. Man, that was very close.
Last season for Temple, started all 18 games, so you've got over 1,500 minutes to look at. She had 8 shots, 4 on goal as a center back, and led the team in corner kicks. So you can tell she is the set-piece specialist. And so that may not be the first time she gets a look on frame from a dead ball situation. Deeks expecting to hold the majority of possession in this game. It's just about how they can convert that possession into opportunities. They did that very well in the first 2 games, but just could not convert those chances. Dempsey Brown, the right back, pushing up very high on the right flank. Combines well with Kaya Hanks. 1v1 onto her left. Gets by one defender, and it looks like it's touched out for a corner.
You could tell right there that Temple is very worried about Hanks. They allowed so many touches. She knew it. She knew she had the respect. She was able to split the 2 defenders, and she had a good look.
Alex Wood rested for this game after starting the last one, so Hanks moves from the left wing to the right, which brings Sierra Scythe into the starting lineup. We'll see plenty of Scythe, who they have high hopes for after tough freshman year dealing with an injury.
Yeah, that was a very tough break for her, as Coach DeLuz had a lot of high praise.
Shot is stopped for the first effort on target. Tamsin Bino able to snatch it after the effort on goal. Went over the head of Dempsey Brown, but then Abby Colton able to get just a toe poke on it. She probably would have liked a little more power. Didn't look like a full swing with the right foot. Again, Brown and this time Small combining down the right. Nikayla Small working one-on-one, can't get by the defender, so it's back to Dempsey Brown. Dempsey Brown has been so critical to this Wake Forest team. Just a sophomore, but in her freshman season, not only did she impress mightily at the number 6 position, but then because of injury had to move back to center back and did extremely well there. Now, because of an injury to Tyla Ochoa, she's had to move to right back, lifted high and over the crossbar. So
she can play anywhere on the pitch.
Yeah.
Really, she can.
But I know Coach DeLuz is hoping for the opportunity to play her at her best position in midfield at some point, but sometimes needs and holes have to be filled, so players have to move around.
I'm getting back to those injury problems last year with Scythe. It was the training session right before they took on Duke in that exhibition game. Coach DeLuz lit up when we talked about the freshman from Long Beach, California, and then I returned to the next session, and bad news that she's out for the season. But she was one of the first players to come and speak to me at the training session, and she was a delight. She looks like she's got good head on her shoulders, and she can also do a lot of damage on the pitch. Good to see her on the pitch here in 2024.
Ball into the area looking for Hannah Johnson. Stands at over 6 feet tall. Not often you get a striker That's a 6-footer at the women's soccer collegiate level. Tony DeLuz is very happy to have Hannah Johnson. He will want that opportunity maybe a little closer to the 6-yard box next time. Header from around 15 yards out is always going to be a low percentage chance. Played about 5 minutes here. Deeks controlling the majority of possession. Both sides have had one half chance. For Temple, it came off a free kick from what had to be over 40 yards out. Phoebe Holland nearly found the target with it. For the Deeks, came on a corner. Abby Colton, the one to put it on frame. Wait, building forward. Here's Scythe. Good 1v1, but well defended. She tried to dribble past the defender. Deeks maintain the ball.
It'll be interesting to see if they allow Nikki Small, if Temple allows Nikki Small to cook right there in that center of the pitch, because she's dangerous. I think she was also surprised that she had that much room and space.
Scythe wins a corner, second one of the game for the Deeks, and they were dangerous on the last one. DeLuz identified corners as one area that he really wants this team to improve. As you see Coach DeLuz there in his 28th season as the head coach of this Deek women's squad. Corner to be taken by Emily Colton. She has a short option, but now backs up. Looks like she'll send it long. Right-footed looped into the area. Dempsey Brown tried to get ahead to it, but instead it's cleared away. Temple trying to break. Instead, it's turned over, but the shot from Abby Colton put wide.
Well, again, we're seeing a lot of chances. Early parts of this match, that's a good sight, but if that keeps happening and then there's no score, that's when it starts getting frustrating.
Turned over at the back by Temple, trying to pass their way into possession. Deeks can't make the most of it. Here come the Owls. Well controlled in midfield by Fiona Killian. Eventually, though, the Deeks win it back. Here's Kaya Hanks in space. She's got by her defender, needs help. Touches across the 18, left-footed shot. Great save to touch that ball behind. It was seeking the bottom right corner, but Tamsin Bino put it out for a corner instead.
And again, look how many touches Hanks, where she could just do what she wants. She even tiptoes on the 18, enough room to put that left-footed blast, and even a good stop there by the experienced goalkeeper.
Great one-handed diving stop to push that ball wide. Corner floated in. Great delivery. Again, they are seeking Dempsey Brown. She has been the target on all three of Wake's early corners.
And right there in the center part of that 6, right above the 6, that's where they're trying to place it. Hasn't quite hit that target yet, but you're right, Kyle. That's twice that they have worked centrally from the corner kick and looking for Dempsey Brown.
So Temple, after giving it away in their own attacking third, trying to play out of the back. Instead, they go long with this goal kick. Collected by Sherry Atkins and now fed down out wide left. Zara Shavoshi marshals it back into possession for the Deeks. Looking for Hannah Johnson. Can't quite connect. A lot of long balls from Temple. That's not surprising, as they've had a little bit of trouble passing their way through midfield.
It's good to see the Colton twins, or the Colton sisters, here on the same pitch and starting.
Absolutely. Abby, a redshirt senior now on this team, who's been here through the thick of it. Emily, transferring from North Carolina to play her senior year with her sister. Emily's spent time with the U20 women's national team.
Coach DeLue said it's just a lot of fun watching those two sisters together again, this time on the same team. And as some veterans and some vocal leaders, too.
Temple with the throw in. Owls will try to build from the back this time. Deeks pressing relatively well. It's worked so far for them through the first 10 minutes plus of this game. No score. Deeks and Owls.
One presser. Wonder if they're going to bring in another two just to try to get Temple off balance, right? In that back line. A team that has seen plenty of shots.
Michaela Small onto her left foot. Has a go, but scuffs it a bit and feeds it right into the arms of the Temple goalkeeper, who's been busy so far and expects to be busy throughout the rest of this game.
Thought that might kind of seep in, but it was a good eye by the goalkeeper watching that and keeping it from going past the goal line.
Michaela Small with the foul. You saw that shot count early on. Already 7 for Wake Forest to just 1 for Temple, and that one shot for the Owls came on a dead ball situation, so nothing from open play yet for the visiting team.
Already coming into this match, 41 shots faced on 48 with these 7.
Here's Sierra Scythe. Feeds it into the middle for Johnson, but can't quite connect.
Good use of space here.
Dempsey Brown to Michaela Small. Up the line for Hanks. First touch cross into the box, looking for the far post, but nobody there. It went over the head of Hannah Johnson, who was right in front of goal, but nobody at the far stick. Scythe sends it back in from the other side. That one meets the head of Johnson off the post and cleared. Excellent chance for the Deeks and just so close to cashing in.
This is similar to what Wake Forest fans experienced last year. So many times tapping the woodwork, getting so close but not in the net. As Hannah Johnson almost found the first goal of this match, but relentless attack, though, to say the least. That's now 8 shots for Wake Forest.
They play it short this time on the corner and make a mess of it, but the Deeks do keep the throw in. So close for Johnson, and that is going to be a recipe for success. Coach DeLue's praised Sierra Scythe's crossing abilities, and she put it on a platter for Johnson, who very nearly clipped the ball inside the netting on the far corner.
Dempsey tried to create a little bit more space to put that one in, but that was plenty of touches by a Wake Forest player without the service ball, which will drive Coach DeLue's nuts.
Yep, and now Temple going down the other direction. Good work by Sherry Atkins, sophomore from Maryland. Dangerous cross, just cleared by the Deeks. Temple's real first move forward in possession of the ball from open play. Now the Deeks try to break.
And Deeks got to get back, too. I mean, they got to get up. There's the numbers clearly the advantage of Temple.
Scythe beats her defensive mark. Cross is rejected. Both wingers, Kaya Hanks on the right and Sierra Scythe on the left, have had plenty of space to operate.
I was just expecting a little bit more urgency once that break was in full effect to get those numbers in advantage of Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Temple was good to get all their numbers back,
Unfortunately, Emily Colton just didn't have the help she needed to distribute. Her sister Abby sends it left for Emily Morris, who has moved from midfield to left back this season. Scythe sends it across to Dempsey Brown. Brown beating one defender, then two. Her cross is touched out for a corner.
It's always difficult, and that's probably right what Dempsey Brown expected. See if she can swerve the hips to put that ball in, but worst case scenario is it hits off a defender, it goes for a corner. That's what happened.
So Kaya Hanks will take this corner. She has help and will give way to Abby Colton. Colton will take it with her left. Dempsey Brown is in the mix, as is Hannah Johnson. It comes short. Hanks can't, or Kayla Small, can't get there. Deeks keep possession. Left-footed switch of play. Now the Owls have it, and potentially a breakaway. The Deeks snuff that out. Back to Christine Johnson, who is in the lineup today to give Laurel Ansborough some rest. Ansborough, such a rock for this Wake Forest defensive unit.
I'll tell you, Temple's doing a fantastic job in just kind of clogging the sink. I mean, they might somewhat be staying and playing conservatively, defensively, but I mean, they're getting their numbers back and really not allowing much space for or windows for Wake Forest to take a shot on.
A lot of entry balls into the 18 for the Deeks, but have not been able to connect on too many of them. Their best opportunities have come from wingers cutting inside along the top of the 18-yard box. Here's Emily Colton, shot just wide and goes out for a goal kick. That was well done by the Temple goalkeeper, Tamsin Bino, who seemed to have her near post covered and let that shot just flash by the post.
We'll see that again. The instant replay. Nice one-touch feed. Colton going to the near stick, and just, again, like you said, a good goalkeeping by immediately shutting down that any type of angle on that near stick.
Deeks continuing to operate in the attacking third, putting things together, just have not been able to create too many shots on target. Dempsey Brown and Kaya Hanks have combined extremely well on the right side. Now here's an opportunity for the Owls. Sherry Atkins has been their best option moving the ball forward. Here's Killian. Maggie Repke now back up to Fiona Killian. Killian's through ball for Atkins didn't look like they were on the same page, and I think Asia Thomas knew she was leaning offside, and so she could not chase. Temple head coach Chris Shaw in his first season coached Robert Morris and UNLV before this. Made a change at the top, did Temple, in the offseason. They are really sort of building from scratch here this year, as things did not go their way last season, and they hit the reset button.
And again, trying to find their identity. That's it's been like that last season. Then you get a new coach. You have to, again, hit the reset button, but still try to find their identity that's carrying over from the year before.
Yeah, the identity is such an important part of building a program from the very beginning. It's one of the first steps. And so Chris Shaw coming in and trying to make his stamp on this team and build how he wants to build it, get the players he wants that fit that mold. But you have to build the mold before you can fill it.
Absolutely. This looks promising.
Colton sisters combining. Here's Emily, nice touch, but she sort of trips over the ball. Dempsey Brown into the area, it's cleared. Here's Colton again. Deeks continuing to hold on to possession. Abby switches play. Here's Scythe. Beautiful ball into the area. Hannah Johnson gets her head to it, but puts it wide. Johnson had tons of time, nobody on her to try and settle that and then poke it in, but instead went for the header, high degree of difficulty, and just could not make contact. What a ball!
I thought she timed it just perfectly, but just couldn't get the contact. Again, a near miss. Hannah Johnson, it's sitting in the back of her head, and maybe that will light the fire even brighter for her to try to get on the board.
How about the delivery from Scythe on the left side? She was basically facing her own goal and then whipped her body around and put it on a platter.
Dropped that one in a bucket.
Here she is again, 1-on-2, maintains possession, but now turned over. Abby Colton gives it away, and Temple looking to break. We've had a substitution for the Owls. Asia Thomas up front has come off with Carly Steinberg in her place, and that leaves the lone striker is Sherry Atkins. So an extra midfielder for an attacker as the Owls try to get themselves on the ball a little bit more, maintain possession instead of just simply playing on the counter. And with that, you see them now look to try and play out of the back again. Well, at first, now they go long.
Steinberg, who's transfer from Colgate, has come in. One of those graduate players that possess, of course, a lot of experience with a team that's, again, trying to find their identity, right?
Yeah, a number of transfers as Chris Shaw is trying to bring in a few players that can be short-term stopgaps before he can really build the program to where he wants it to be. In midfield, Yao Zhu is really important player to this team. Two-time Ohio Valley Conference Midfielder of the Year with Tennessee Tech. She hasn't had a lot of time on the ball so far today. Emily Colton just a little bit of a heavy touch and given away. There is Zhu out of San Michele al Tagliatento, Italy. Tagliamento, I almost had it.
Almost. Couldn't stick the landing is what I know.
Shavoshi into the middle. Johnson couldn't collect the ball as she was trying to move diagonally, cut the defender off.
I'm not sure, maybe she tried to dummy that. It's kind of blocked there, but if that was, it was a good idea because it did kind of obstruct the vision of that back line and allow somebody to pounce on it. But we still sit 0-0.
Coach DeLuz, talked to him before the game, and he said one of the things that they are trying to work on is more discipline in the final third, because a lot of players can sometimes want to contribute to attacking moves, but instead bring defenders into the area. So it's all about maintaining discipline and staying within your role, not try to do too much. Trust your teammates that they will do their job, so you just have to do yours. Good counter press by the Deeks to win the ball back. Kaya Hanks and Zara Shavoshi combining to win the ball and possession back. Johnson, her back to goal, shrugs off a defender. Left foot, tried to place it in the top corner and got a little under it.
And just a tad under it. That's not too far from what you expect. You know, if your first shot from outside of the 18, you have the tendency to kind of look up and watch it go, almost like a hitter that looks up and watches the ball go.
25 minutes in, another substitution for the Owls. Fiona Killian comes off and Raquel Padalon is in.
Let's see if this press can come through with Wake Forest as they look to pin the Owls back.
Yeah, the connections are just not there right now for the Owls passing out of the back. They've tried it a couple times, and each time it's been coughed back up. Johnson on the turn towards the end line, keeps the ball in play. Left-footed cross along the top of the 18, but nobody there to receive it, and it results in a Temple break. Going the other way, the substitute, Carly Steinberg, feeds her attacker, Shari Atkins. Atkins has to work one-on-one, shielded off very well by Christine Johnson, who slides to block the cross. And a corner for Temple, their first of the match.
Now, Temple hasn't been down here their final third a lot, but they're here now. And if they could somehow sneak a goal in, they could have Wake Forest looking for answers.
Set piece specialist to take this corner. That's the center back, Phoebe Hullen. She'll send it in with her right foot. Couple of targets in the 18. That's a little too close to the goalkeeper, though, in the first action of the match for Paige Nurkin.
Well, that was almost over the head and past the fingertips of Nurkin.
Scythe. Emily Colton wants it on her right foot, takes it, and one hop into the waiting arms of Tamsin Bino. It's been a familiar sight for Bino, the shot just one hopping into her breadbasket. Deeks have not been able to elevate their shots so far today.
See, 8 players getting back that quickly. They just had a corner. So you can definitely see the strategy that Temple wants to play. I mean, you got to get back immediately, kind of put that wall defensively.
Well, and that will make first-year head coach Chris Shaw very happy, because when you're building, you got to start with the basics, and the basics are effort. And when you've got players who can recover defensively that fast from set-piece opportunities, it means you can take a few more risks in the attacking third, knowing that your recovery is there. Good moves to split the defenders by Scythe. Has fullback help in Emily Morris. Cross is blocked, but it still finds Hannah Johnson, and she puts the left-footed redirect out for a goal kick.
Oh, that was right on target on the inside of that foot. It's just a swing of the boot that could have knocked that in. Another bad luck for Hannah Johnson. But here's the thing, look, the touches in the box, which, you know, I've said over and over again, if I'm seeing touches in the box by my attacker, I'm loving it. So her Tibbs, even though she's now leaving, at least momentarily, her Tib number is pretty impressive. Eventually, you're going to be able to execute.
The replacements, Alex Wood comes into the game, and so does Carly Wilson. So Wood takes over at right wing, and Emily Colton will now play a sort of false 9 position, if you will, as the two wingers push higher up the field, Scythe and Wood.
Well, one of the first things that Coach Toulouse said about this team was depth. And then I asked him, I said, you know, you've been coaching for a long time. What's it about? What's about this team that says that you could say has a lot of experience and a lot of leadership, but what sets it different to the other teams that you've coached? And he said, veteran depth.
They sure do. They have a ton of seniors and juniors who have all played together for quite a while. And then you sprinkle in a few transfers and young talent in alongside that, and this is a very deep squad.
Bring back, what, 84% or 86% of their goals scored last year. There's the breakdown. And that's good to have a heavy list of seniors there mixed with some juniors and sophomores, and then you add the newcomers that can learn from that overwhelming amount of seniors.
Snatched away by Emily Colton. She's got Alex Wood in support, and a necessary tactical foul here for Temple to absorb the yellow card. That is given to the defensive leader in Phoebe Hullen,
and I'm
who
not sure,
knew what she had to do there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to see this again, but Emily Colton breaks through here, and that tug just obstructed her sight line because she had the option to her right and plenty of space to work. So that actually was a very professional and smart foul by Temple.
Now they have to defend the set piece opportunity. Shavoshi standing over it with her right foot, or could be the left of Emily Morris.
12 shots now for Wake Forest.
And
15 and a half
potentially
to go.
another here if one of these two decides to go for goal from the set piece. Straight away on goal, these are always some of the toughest angles. Faked, and then the shot from Shavoshi. That's not too far away from the top right corner, but does not threaten.
It was tipping just a little past the bar there. I was thinking once they were lined up, is it wise to go for the sniper shot, right? Or do you, which I thought first off when that fake, that they might just clip it up and have a rush of attackers come in, cause chaos in the box, and then result in the goal. They did go for the sniper shot, went a little too high.
Such a high degree of difficulty to shoot from that far away, but it's also tough from that straightaway angle to deliver a ball into the box that's shootable.
Yep.
13-1, the Deeks leading shots on goal, but they've only managed to put 4 of those 13 efforts on frame. And most of those that have troubled Temple goalkeeper Tamsin Bino have been one-hoppers into her chest.
And we talked about that in the open, Kyle. The shots on target of those 42 coming into this match, it was 18. That needs to get a better percentage there. And again, we see the same struggles with just 4 on target out of 13 total shots. Plenty of soccer to play, too.
Absolutely. Still 14 minutes to go before halftime here at Spry. Deacons in their home opener today. The men will do the same shortly after the conclusion of this match, as they take on VCU to not only begin their home slate, but begin their season on the whole. Temple will play this long, still working on playing out of the back. Foul by Christine Johnson. Deeks with victory to start the year over Army, and then a draw with Rutgers, both of those on the road.
And unbalanced on the stat sheet. They clearly were the better team, just not on that goal total, especially with Rutgers for this 1-1.
Took them until the 64th minute to find a goal in that game after they'd already conceded at the back, and that resulted in the 1-1 draw. Beautiful from Hanks to find Emily Colton. Now it goes from Wilson out to Morris, and a Deke throw.
Yeah, Morris wanted to quickly get this into play because, again, Temple very good on getting the numbers back.
Good turn by Wood, but shut off from entering the 18-yard box. Morris, left-footed cross is rejected. It'll be a throw. 12 minutes to go before the break. Still no score. 13-1 Deeks lead in the shot department, but have not been able to find the breakthrough. Trying to combine to get them out of the corner.
Yeah, Colton was looking for her sister actually to come back up there to support. She had to pull it back, stay on that left lane.
There is Emily Colton on her left. Puts a shot on frame. Believe it's tipped over the crossbar for a corner.
Phenomenal work by Bino. I mean, she's had her work cut out for her today. She's had her work cut out for her since last year with how many shots she's seen, but she has done a superb job on reading that. I thought she tipped it over the bar, but
I guess not. The referee gave a goal kick on that after all. So that just goes down as another shot off target. Anna Swanson into the game. Swanson comes in for Scythe on the left wing. Give the redshirt freshman a little bit of a breather.
Kind of seeing this press a little bit now by Wake. Looked like they were going to have 3 challenge, but now they'll back off.
Ties, we've seen a couple of substitutions here in this first half, getting close to 10 minutes to go. There's been a couple of rule changes in that department. We'll get to that shortly. Here's Kaya Hanks on the right foot, full speed ahead. Cross is too close to the goalkeeper, and the referee says that Hanks went out of play anyways before she got her right foot to that.
That was the right ball to play. We can't see it from here, but that's the diagonal ball you want to play and have somebody late arriving.
Those rule changes are going to be something to get used to for head coaches across the collegiate game this year, as they're a little more restrictive in how many players they can swap out and then return into the game.
Yeah, it's one of the things that the coaches are trying to get used to, per se. It's now with the changes that there's 6 moments, that's not including the half, where you can make changes and you cannot have a re-entry in the second half. And I think a lot of the coaches are trying to adjust to that.
So it'll be something that will take a little time for coaches to figure out. Temple building forward here, trying to put something together in the attacking third. Just cannot keep possession long enough to build forward, but they have been gritty in midfield, trying to win those bouncing balls back. They'll have to retreat again here as the Deeks control. Wake Forest putting together opportunities, but as has been the case to start this season and really for most of last year as well, just have not been able to convert chances into goals.
Trying to spread it out now with Colton. Plenty of time to scan the field.
Yep, and lots of options too.
She was looking to go centrally. She slid it over to the left. Now she has an idea where she wants to play, and of course to her sister. Here's Emily Colton.
Emily Colton nutmegs one defender, then gets a healthy bounce past another. Right-footed shot is turned away. Beautiful goalkeeping. Deeks keep it alive. Hanks can't get by 2 defenders, but wins the throw. Yet again, Temple goalkeeper Tamsin Bino coming up big. What a move, though, by Emily Colton to get on her right foot and put that on frame.
It's deserving of a goal. I mean, you just feel it building with this Wake Forest team. How many times knocking on the door. They've pretty much cut this pitch in half, almost to to that attacking third. Very rare we see it even in the midfield. Just keep knocking.
Referee signals that that was fair. Now they'll have a substitution. Coming on is Yasmin Smith, sophomore from Laurel, Maryland.
You got a shot on target. Has played 46 minutes so far in this early part of the 2024 season.
She replaces Sherry Atkins, who worked incredibly hard up in the attack, but just not able to get a lot of support. And now a dangerous set-piece opportunity for the Owls, as it's one up there by Sumaya Togba, just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, just outside of the penalty. Let's see how close this really was.
Zara Shavoshi just get a little physical there. Good moves by Togba. And we'll see how the Owls play this. It's a really tight angle. Standing over it is Holland. Holland drives it to the top of the 6-yard box. Well defended by the Deeks. It's a little too deep that time for the late runner.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to have a little bit more backspin on that one. Just a little overcooked. But still just one shot to show for the Owls so far with 10 seconds remaining in this half.
Deeks will see it out. 0-0. Our score through the first 45 minutes. Deeks 17-1, the shot advantage, but just cannot break through. The goal-scoring problems continue, Ty, but the Deeks well in
level, and then that's perfectly fitted well when they get ready for Mississippi State.
So, second half is underway. Kyle Bond alongside Ty Collins here at beautiful Spry Stadium. It is just a gorgeous evening, Ty, for some soccer. We've got the second half of this game here as we've played just 15 seconds, and then the men will take the field as well to take advantage of this gorgeous weather. It's not so hot and humid as it's been for most of the summer. Cooled off a little bit for us to get this home slate underway. Deeks right into the attack and in each other's way a little bit. Here is Emily Morris. Vertical ball. Left-footed cross towards the penalty spot. Nobody there, though. And they will recycle. Picking up right where they left off in the first half are the Deeks.
I don't think I've ever been opening night in August where it's just 75 degrees. Feeling like it's a early October match.
Great cross by Shavoshi just off the head of Anna Swanson. Here is Emily Morris. Wanted the right-footed shot, but just no room for it. Fed laterally. Colton. A couple of positional changes for the Deeks, it looks like, as Dempsey Brown has moved to center back, switching with Shavoshi, who's now at right back. There is the first goal of the game. You knew it was coming eventually. They just had to keep at it as Anna Swanson, the right-footed karate kick, breaks the seal, and the Deeks finally find a way past Tamsin Bino. It's 1-0 early second half.
Finally breaking the ice, and you could see the joy on the faces, especially for the goal scorer, Swanson, just getting right there with that beautiful cross that just drops right in the area for that swing with the boot and knocks it in. That's just very difficult to stop. Just sticking your leg out there and knocking it in. And that very well could be the start of many, many more to come.
So the Deeks lead 1-0. They have been good enough for that advantage. And now it forces Temple to open things up a little bit more and try and move forward themselves. They've really only had one good chance on net, and it came very early on a dead ball situation. Otherwise, from open play, it's been smothered by this Deeks possessional advantage. Great tackle in midfield by Yao Zhu. Here is Zhu filtering out possession to the right. And the flag is up for offside.
Well, may I add that that was very good goalkeeping, too, though. Even with the offside call, just tracking back and squaring up. And, of course, that block with the knee, even though it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Excellent job by Dempsey Brown to step forward and draw that offside trap. She left 2 red shirts in the no zone.
You say no zone? Love it.
That's right. That's a throwback to the old days of getting your driver's license. The no zone, learning where trucks can't see you in a vehicle. Shivoshi deflected cross top of the 18-yard box.
Wood with a clever back heel, too, that reached Shivoshi. I thought that for sure they were going to stir up another goal. Just how that developed, but still sitting 1-0.
Deeks holding possession still. Number of the first half substitutes still on the field for now. Goal scorer Anna Swanson, one of them. You've also got Carly Wilson in midfield. Here's Shivoshi. She has gotten a lot further forward since switching to right back. She has a lot of freedom to get forward both out wide and cutting inside. Dempsey Brown has had to fill in a number of positions due to injuries in her young career, but Coach DeLuz said she's much better centrally than she is out wide. So this switch to put Shivoshi at right back has been a positive one for them, and it had a direct effect on the goal. There is Dempsey Brown, who is so calm on the ball. Great vertical ball, just cut out defensively by Temple.
That was well played, too. I mean, good vertical ball in those vertical lanes. Just a tad bit off on reaching and linking up.
Coach DeLuz ringing the changes in his lineup and making the right compilation to get his team clicking. Brown has a lot of space to charge forward here. She might do that. She will take that that's given to her. Wood tried to flick it on to, I believe that's Kaya Hanks back into the game on the far side.
Yeah, Wood's done a very, very good job of checking into those pockets of space.
Hanks bumped, maintains possession. Right-footed blast is blocked out for a corner. Wonderful job by Kaya Hanks to stay on her feet in possession after taking the 2 hands to her back. She gets bumped here hard. Instead of going down, keeps on her feet and generates the corner.
There's Hanks, very dangerous on this attack. He's one of the best attackers last year for this Wake Forest team from Hawaii.
Emily Morris will take the left-footed corner. Floated to the penalty spot. Over the head of Dempsey Brown. Falls at the far post to Carly Wilson, but she puts it into the net.
That's once again, Kyle, right there. The top, the 6, centrally placed, and still can't quite get a head on it, even a toe on it.
It's been floated over the head of Dempsey Brown a number of times, just agonizingly close to getting her a chance. Here's a turnover at the back. Wonderful recovery for Temple. That is their defensive leader and captain, Phoebe Holland, who gave it away cheaply and then managed to get back and block the shot as it looked like Carly Wilson was clean through on goal.
Yeah, she did. She was kind of holding up the ball, looking for someone to make a run, and when she was going to make a decision, it was defensively knocked away. Good on by Temple there, but here's another corner kick.
Emily Colton will take. With her right foot, it'll be an in-swinger. Dempsey Brown in there, top of the 6 as well. It goes near post, flicked on. Here's Hanks bobbles around, just can't get it on goal, and blocked out and marshaled out of play for a goal kick.
Good communication, too, by Bino. And she knew that was last touch by Wake Forest and pretty much communicated to the back line, don't touch it, let it roll out, we get a goal kick. And sure enough, she was right.
Temple in the attack. Wonderful work by really their only attacking player so far, Cherie Atkins, who's back in the game and has been fantastic. She grabs the ball, referee tells him to play on, and just does not have the support.
Now Wake's got to get quickly up the field. Sorry to interrupt you, Kyle. When you get this break, you got to immediately, rapidly get up there.
Emily Colton really only had 2 players in support in Hanks and Wood, and 5 defenders back, so she had to take it herself and just couldn't make it work. Good move by Yao Zhu. Well defended. Forces the Deeks to boot it long, and the Owls maintain possession. They have really struggled to string passes together building forward, but this is a chance for them to improve on that. Maggie Repke filters it forward. One-on-one, Shavoshi defending Yasmin Smith. And Shavoshi wins the foul.
Fantastic work by Shavoshi, using her body, blocking out, using that to get enough space to figure out what she wants to do with it, and then draws the foul. You can see this slow build-up too, Kyle. I mean, they start from the back, you get to that midfield and this creation part. It's a little bit slow as it finally develops, and then once you get in that attacking third, then it's on full tilt. Then it's 100%.
Shavoshi wins another free kick as she deftly dribbles between 2 players and draws the foul. And it's just given away again.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate hit there on that free kick, but you can't give it away. And then Shavoshi a little perturbed by that and gets a foul called on her. And Bino all the way up here to see if they can at least put one high in the air that will drop inside the 18, or asking for somebody to run onto it. I don't think that's going to reach.
Zhu with a great shot on the half turn, volleyed it, but at the end of the day, relatively easily scooped up.
I think that was intended to be a little bit closer, but that was it's a good attempt. That was a quick turn and shoot.
That is a cheap giveaway from Emily Morris that could prove dangerous. Down the right side, cross sent into the area, headed away by Dempsey Brown. Good emergency defending by the Deeks, but not clear yet. Now Christine Johnson boots it clear with her left foot. And Hanks has to put it out of play.
It's kind of surprising. Wake Forest here is Temple has kind of hung back. Now they're getting a little aggressive, moving into that attacking third, searching for that equalizer.
Here come the Deeks. Swanson, the goal scorer. Couple of Cristiano Ronaldo step-overs. Gets it across to Shavoshi after being challenged by 2 defenders. Shavoshi, cross into the side netting. Looks like the Wake Forest bench is stirring, and
It's like Hannah Johnson's about to come back in.
yep, you wonder if more of the starters may find their way back onto the field here in a little bit. Swanson combining well with Wilson. Left-footed cross right on the penalty spot. Great touch by Colton, and then Wood goes down in the area. She's still down. The shot from Hanks hits the arm of a defender right as the referee stops play for a head injury. Why did he wait so long to stop play when Alex Wood had been down? And the result of that is that he has to stop the action right when Hanks' shot hits the arm of a Temple defender. Wild sequence, and we hope Alex Wood is okay, as she went down immediately under a challenge holding her face.
Yeah, I'm not sure if head referee Lewis Rice saw that as quick as we did, right? But clearly you saw Wood down and agony and didn't quite see it until that shot was placed on by Hanks. And then, like you said, hit the arm, which could have resulted in a handball and a free kick, a PK.
So Wood is up to her feet with the help of the training staff and gets a hand from the crowd. Take a look at it again. Good cross right to the penalty area. What a touch there by Colton, and then Wood just collides with the defender. There's no wrongdoing there by the defender at all whatsoever. Just two players coming together.
And she got upended, and then the only way for her to fall was with her backside hitting Wood in the head, and then she hit, of course, the turf.
So Alex Wood will come off. You actually wonder if she would have been replaced anyways, because we saw Hannah Johnson readying on the sideline. So Wood would have been the likely replacement.
That was Brooke Kane, who, man, she had nowhere to go. It's unfortunate that she was falling down into the head area of Wood.
So it'll be a drop ball restart. Just tough timing there. Always a difficult situation for a referee because you don't want to stop a good attacking move. But when an attacking player is down, you know, sometimes you can be skeptical as a referee when a defensive player is down like that, and you just don't want to stop a good attacking move unless the defender is very clearly injured. But when an attacking player is down, you know something is wrong. And yet the Deeks had a good chance stopped because it took so long for play to be brought to a halt. Temple building forward. Zhu almost losing out. Keeps it. And no signal yet from the referee. So Temple free kick. So a good opportunity here from a set piece. Earlier in the game, very early, we saw Phoebe Holland go for goal from a lot further out than this, although this is maybe a little too tight of an angle.
She surprised everybody here in attendance as well as the goalkeeper.
Ball into the area, very dangerous, and then velcros to the feet of Christine Johnson. Sent back in, headed out by Dempsey Brown. The Owls trailing 1-0 to Wake Forest, trying to find some attacking answer as they have been completely shut down. Hannah Johnson, looked like that ball maybe clipped off her arm, but the referee judges that she was just trying to get back up to her feet. That has been written into the rules at both the pro level and all the way down, that they are really trying to cut down on the number of handballs. And so any kind of natural position, if your body is on the ground, you've given a lot of leeway in what you can do with your arms. They've really written it into the rules now, Ty, that you can slide and use your arm as basically a support. And if the ball hits it, not a handball. And then there,
That's surprising to me. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as your arm is supporting your body from just slamming onto the ground, it is completely legal. There you saw Hannah Johnson sort of getting back up to her feet, and obviously you need your arms for that. So she's able to do that legally. Kaya Hanks has been replaced. Michaela Small is back onto the field. Here is Carly Wilson driving into the middle and then feeding it over to Shavoshi. Shavoshi out wide for Small, just onto the pitch. Michaela Small dribbling against one defender, keeps it. Shavoshi trying to get past a defender herself, and the ball across is a corner.
Good possession in that final third again. Shavoshi trying to scan, figure out what she wants to do with it. Is able to get the deflection off a Temple player. Results in another corner. Let's see what Wake Forest does on this journey to the flag.
Emily Morris to take. It's corner number 10 now into double digits for the Deeks in this game. Leading 1-0, looking for more. Left-footed ball into the area, headed by Dempsey Brown. They have been looking for her on every corner, and it just has not happened. A couple of them over her head. This one a little short, and just an awkward attempt at it.
Yeah, she had to squat down to get her head on that one. When you're looking for that aerial jump and then header, and you saw Dempsey squat down just to get her forehead on it, and still can't execute it. I cannot execute on these corners, which I know Coach DeLuz said he really wants to see his team finish on a corner kick with sending one into the back of the net.
Take another look at the foul here by Michaela Small, just catching the back of the heel.
Yeah, just a little late too. Yeah. I mean, if you're Temple, Kyle, I'm thinking you have it 1-0, and not in your favor, but you keep doing what you're doing, hoping that you can get a breakaway and use that speed. Plus, with possible set pieces you can take, how dangerous we've seen them. Last only two that we've seen, but still dangerous. If you get anywhere close, maybe 40, 30 yards out, it could result in a sneaky goal, and it's tied up, and they could go back to Philadelphia with 1 point on a draw.
Here's Malika Mina, who is into the game for Wake Forest for the first time today. Mina, a regular starter at that 6-8 hybrid, but rested today for the most part by Tony DeLuz. We still haven't seen Emily Murphy today, and it wouldn't be surprising not to see her at all. She has just had a very busy year from a playing perspective.
You might not see her, but I'm sure you can hear her. She is very vocal, whether it's on the pitch or right on the sideline.
Wilson tried to dribble by her defender, can't quite get there, and wins a throw. Substitution for the Deeks.
Colton going out. And then Wake Forest bringing in new face.
That's right. Here is Amaya Dawkins, who will get a chance to show what she can bring. Freshman from Texas. Shavoshi on her left foot. Small. Mina, maybe she'll have a go. Right-footed shot. Did that take a deflection? No, it did not.
That looked like it took a deflection. Am I seeing things, Kyle?
I thought that the outstretched foot from Yasmin Smith may have made contact, but both the referee and the side judge said goal kick. So tough angle here from our booth.
I'm just checking if I'm seeing things, so I'm confirming with you.
Soft foul there as Shivoshi is whistled for the foul. Shot count up now for the Deeks to 21-2. And Johnson will press. Forces Temple to send it long. Dempsey Brown collects to Emily Morris. Deeks leading 1-0, about 25 minutes left to go. And Ty, if you're Wake Forest, no need to open it up fully at this point and risk a needless goal. Obviously, they'll still push for a second, but clearly they are happy to possess the ball and keep it away from the Owls any further. Mina dancing around defenders. Great vertical ball. Johnson from a tight angle. Looked like she may have tripped right when she went to take that shot, but a deflection, the referee says, in a corner.
That was deflected, and Hannah really, that was the only option, because look, a great ball, by the way. Mina, and just you see Hannah Johnson with the defender right on her backside. Either you stop, try to see if you can get the defender to fly by you, then pull it back, or you get a deflection, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it looked like she may have lost her footing right when she went to take the shot. Laurel Ansborough comes into the game, another one that Coach DeLuz had rested for today, but she'll get a few minutes here at the end of the game. Emily Morris comes off, so we'll see how that shakes things up. It's a center back for a left back. Headed across by Johnson, but out for a goal kick, and another corner opportunity goes by. So Ansborough will take over at center back, and that alongside Dempsey Brown. That moves Christine Johnson out to left back to take over for Emily Morris. Shivoshi can't dribble around two defenders. Throw in for the Deeks. 1-0 our score. With goal from Anna Swanson off the bench early in the second half has the Deeks in front of Temple. 23 shots and 11 corners for Wake Forest in this game, to just 2 shots and 1 corner for Temple. But Wake Forest only able to engineer the 1 goal so far.
Yeah, to overload on this right side, and the idea there is to quickly make that switch. Wake Forest still couldn't quite do that, and you have a throw in.
Good work out on the far side by the substitute Dawkins, but eventually foul committed.
Yeah, that's what.
Maybe a handball here instead. Yep, comes right up off the left hand or left arm of Dawkins, which was outstretched.
Because it's not in a natural position.
That's right.
But what if she was going down for a sliding tackle?
As long as the arm was in support of her body,
Oh, okay.
it would have been legal. Now, there are also different thresholds for attackers and defenders. This is mostly defenders we're talking about. From an attacker, as the Deeks get forward and Swanson is called for the foul. From an attacker's perspective, Ty, the goal scorer, if the ball touches the arm of a goal scorer in any fashion, any place, natural position, unnatural position, whatever, no goal. So that is the threshold for an attacker, is it cannot touch your arm if you scored the goal. In the build-up, those in the creative process have a little bit more of a leeway, but it's still not quite the same as the threshold for defenders. Headed forward by Mina. And Ansborough has it. Deeks filtered around the back line. Very happy to take their time and see this one out with under 20 minutes to go. Game is still somewhat in the balance with just the 1-goal lead, but Wake Forest has controlled it from start to finish. It is on Temple to make them nervous at the back. Small cross along the face of goal, and Hannah Johnson pokes it home. The Knicks lead 2-0. That is the relatively elementary goal they've been looking for this entire time. The first one came on a whole lot of work, finished off by Swanson. Here, Hannah Johnson just crossed from the right, tapped in for a 2-0 lead.
Her second goal of the season, and she's had plenty of looks this time right across the mouth of goal, and using that inside of her foot is able to, like you said, bing bang, it's in, and buries it to make it 2-0.
Nikayla Small with the assist, and give a little bit of credit to Swanson, too, the goal scorer the first time for the Deeks. As she let that one go, it could have been tempting for her to try and touch it in at the near post, but she knew Johnson was there behind her and ducked out of the way to let that ball go through cleanly, and Johnson had gotten to the right side of her defender for the tap-in. That's the kind of positioning that Coach DeLuz has been looking for from Hannah Johnson. She's had a couple of opportunities in this game, but most of them from a little further out off of her head, which is a high degree of difficulty when you get anywhere outside 10 yards.
It's a great sight to see, too. I think her mother is down here wearing a Hannah Johnson jersey, and she's smiling from ear to ear. And look who's come in, too, Kyle. Emily Murphy.
There she is at the far post. Deeks looking for more. Small pokes it back to Shivoshi. Here's Mina, cycled around. Here is Emily Murphy, gets it from Christine Johnson. Heavy touch, though. Murphy, usually a number 9, but currently slotted in on the left wing with both her and Hannah Johnson in the game.
Some clever work by Small there, creating.
Johnson bumped out top when she took her shot. Instead, it falls to Dawkins. Dawkins just pops it up in the air, and Temple collects. Referee tried to play advantage. Instead, here there's a second foul.
I've been really impressed, though, with Temple. If you watch that, there was four players in that particular channel there. No way could Wake Forest get a shot off. It was completely sealed off.
They have done a good job of disrupting passing lanes. Deeks have 24 shots, but not many of them have been of the high percentage variety. Just over 17 minutes to go in this half.
Expected goals, right?
Yes. The expected goals per shot would be relatively low. Dawkins has it run away from her, but the shot comes from about 25 yards out and does not trouble the Deeks goalkeeper. That is Paige Nurkin between the sticks. Hasn't had much to do today. Grad transfer from Columbia. She is in a 3-horse race for the starting goalkeeper position. Peyton Cahill got the start in the first 2 games. Valentina Amaral, a sophomore, they also expect big things of. So all 3 could potentially have a shot at that starting position moving forward.
Dobbs comes in. Dempsey Brown will go out. As Coach DeLuz bringing in some fresh legs. Satisfied with a 2-0 score, but that doesn't mean they're not going to start moving back into that attacking third like right now.
Here's Murphy, touched across. Scythe is in as well. She moves back to the right back spot with Small in front of her.
Look at that cut back.
Small sends it in. That was looking for the head of Hannah Johnson. but just touched out of play, I believe, by Zhu for a corner.
That cutback again is deadly. Small. She's known to do that in her time here at Wake Forest, but she's really putting on a display here in this home opener.
Carly Wilson will take the corner. This will be a right-footed in-swinger. A lot of numbers at the far post. Doesn't quite reach it. And Temple will try to break. Just don't get the hold-up play that they needed there at the top of the penalty area. Sherry Atkins couldn't quite maintain possession long enough to see her team get up forward. Small tries to dribble through 3 defenders. Here is Scythe. Left-footed shot parried away. There is Murphy, and a foul is called as Murphy a little too close to the goalkeeper, and the referees are always going to protect the goalkeeper in that situation.
Her eyes got big. She may be exhausted from her long summer, of course, representing the Republic of Ireland, but she was in the back of the net there.
Wonderful hit by Sierra Scythe, looking for her first goal as a Deacon. Wake Forest back with it. A lot of joy down that right side. Small has Mina and Scythe in support. Touches it back to Maleka Mina. Filtered back to Laurel Ansborough. And around to Christine Johnson.
Good
Johnson.
job with Murphy coming right there in that space.
A lot of space for Murphy. Now closed down. Top of the 18. Johnson gets stuck at her feet a little bit amidst 3 defenders, but able to keep it alive. Murphy decides to take on a defender instead of send it across. Cut back, Scythe! Right-footed shot, 3-0! Sierra Scythe, after missing her freshman season, high hopes for 2024. She's on the board. Deeks lead the Temple Owls 3-0.
Now, we had a feeling that it wasn't going to be just one goal. We were going to see more. And that's indeed what we're seeing, an onslaught of goal scoring by Wake Forest. And that's just all because of confidence. You see Scythe there just sniping that side net with great joy after being injured all last season. That quick release, too, that almost Stephen Curry quick trigger, right? That's going to cause problems for opponents.
What a job by Emily Murphy, who you saw for a moment was almost tempted to just float a right-footed cross along the end line and try and put it in the box. Instead, she checked herself and said, I'll take on a defender. Got right by the player charged with stopping her along that end line, and then a perfect cutback to Scythe. Great first touch, and buried it in the back of the net. Deeks now firmly on their way to 3 points, as they say here. 3-0 the score, and looking for more as we tick down towards 13 minutes to go in this ball game.
You can see it, too, the confidence of this side. I mean, score 1 and then now 2, now 3. Look at how much ease they are getting into that attacking third. They're sure of themselves, and it's also they're getting addicted to it. They want more. They want more goals.
Here is Nikayla Small. Wonderful weaving ball into the area, and then shot is eventually rejected. Murphy back to goal. Her hold-up play is spectacular.
Yes, really is.
Mina filters it out to the right. Here is Sierra Scythe. Great cross into the area. It squirts away from Johnson and into the back of the net. It looked like the goalkeeper had it, challenging Hannah Johnson. Tamsin Bino is down, but the goal is given and the Deeks lead 4-0. Not quite sure who got the final touch on that once it got away from the goalkeeper.
It looks like Carly Wilson's claiming it. It did look like Hannah Johnson did get that last touch, and maybe Wilson followed it up and made sure that it was going to cross that goal line.
Excellent cross right to the near post for Johnson. Yep, then Wilson just did enough to get the ball off of her feet and towards the goal line. A slow roller, as they say. Sometimes they're the toughest to defend. It just feels like everything happens in slow motion. Tracking back, Carly Wilson given the goal with the final touch. 4-0 the score.
Chaos in the box. It can result in a lot of good things if you're on the attack, and we just saw that there. Wilson, that's almost just a reflex too. Just kind of a flick of the toe. I don't think maybe she'll say that it's meant to be a shot, but I think that was just a quick reaction to where that ball was and just put something on it, and it was enough to cross that goal line to make it 4-0.
So that'll be the final touch for Carly Wilson before she comes off. MJ Osborne into the game for the Deeks. Tony DeLuze now well assured of victory here. Will give some players a chance to shine that maybe otherwise would not be in the mix. Also, Reese Kim is into the game. Kim, an excellent depth piece for this team. Took her a while to work back from a long-term injury, but now firmly in the mix. Sorry, that's Emily Silva. Silva, local product. Reese Kim no longer with the team.
Chris Shaw at Temple, I know this is tough for him to stomach. New season, his first year, but going on his resume, he has what it takes to build a program from scratch. What he did at UNLV, what he did at Robert Morris. Of course, you're going to have to ask for patience, and it's tough when you still have yet to find the back of the net. Now you find yourself down 4-0. Almost the exact same scoreline in which they lost to Villanova.
Kept in play, shot by Dawkins, saved very well. Good job by Murphy, selfless, to let that roll to Dawkins, who was facing goal. Murphy could have been tempted to snatch that herself with her back to goal, where she's quite good. Instead, left it for the teammate.
31 shots for Wake Forest, now 6 saves by Bino.
It's coming at the Owls defense again.
Did I say 6? I meant 7. Sorry.
Over the head of Johnson and out of play for a goal kick. You were correct, Ty, that confidence is really just sky high now. It just took a couple of shots finding the back of the net for them to really get another gear. Murphy forces a turnover, but it's just a little too hot to handle.
Of 32 shots for Wake Forest coming in, already shooting 42-7 against their opponents. They might find 42 here tonight.
Seems like they're well on their way. They still have over 9 minutes to add to that total. Here's Murphy. Maybe she'll take one herself. Draws 4 defenders. Johnson.
Oh, good ball.
Floater to the far post. Just gets over the head of Osborne. Collected by Mina. Gives it to Scythe.
Murphy calling for it.
Yep, Mina takes it back. Here's Dawkins. Ansborough. Christine Johnson. Ansborough calls for Murphy to come forward and then feeds that vertical ball to Murphy with her back to goal. She turns and faces. And it's just a little bit overcooked for Christine Johnson.
Yeah, even Emily Murphy knew right after that. Left her foot. It had a little too much weight on it, but the idea was right. You want to go to that corner and have Johnson send it immediately.
Osborne. Scythe, who has her first career goal. One of the 4 in this game for the Deeks. They lead Temple 4-0. Just over 8 minutes left in the ball game. Scythe takes a left-footed blast from deep and doesn't miss the far post by much.
That was a sweet spot. It just veered off to the left.
Take a look at the 4 goals for the Deeks, all coming in the second half. The first one, Anna Swanson able to get there. Then Hannah Johnson finds the second. Sierra Scythe gets her first career goal, and then the slow rolling squib kick by Carly Wilson to finish off that 4-0 scoreline. And they're still looking for more with 7.5 to go. Christine Johnson, Emily Murphy. Johnson may take this herself onto the right foot, slides to meet it, but it's blocked. Owls just cannot get out of their own half. Mina. Filtered around to the right. Sierra Scythe. Osborne. Couple of step overs of her own.
Oh, good
Great
run.
left-footed vertical ball. Murphy to the end line, defended very well. Give a lot of credit there to Riley Wilpold. Floater, Johnson, and a foul, I believe, on Hannah Johnson.
What a plant by Emily Murphy there. Just able to kind of make that plant and then get into space.
So, taking a look here at an opportunity for Christine Johnson that did hit the arm of a defender, but they have come through with a few new rules recently. One new this year into the laws of the game that basically returns to taking into account a deflection. And so there you saw Christine Johnson's shot deflecting off someone else and into the arm of a defender. They are not punished for that, and the arm also in towards her torso. So altogether, no handball called there, and correctly so. Hannah Johnson, Murphy, Dawkins out left for Christine Johnson. What can Emily Murphy do with it? Floats it in for Hannah Johnson. Defended immediately, but Dawkins has it. Here's Mina, steps by one defender, still with it. Now, Johnson got in her way. There's
Ooh.
Silva with a shot that just flashes wide. Caught the goalkeeper off guard.
What a hit by Silva. Just drifting left of that left post.
Alex Wood returns to the game. Hannah Johnson comes off. As you see that shot just past the far post. Tamsin Bino either didn't see it until too late or wasn't expecting it.
Had a nice dip to it, too.
Christine Johnson replaced after a solid evening. Olivia DeMarinis is in at left back.
And these matches might, not bode well for your RPI, right, Kyle? But when you're a team that has struggled finishing, and then you have a second half like that, it can do wonders for you, especially like we witnessed here with their confidence. So with Coach DeLuze, kind of basically getting this team continuing to go into the attacking third, wanting to get more and more goals, because that will just bode well for them, especially in the near future when they have Mississippi State coming into town on Sunday.
That's right. That's going to be a televised game against a team picked to finish 6th in the SEC, so strong opponent from a Power 5 conference.
That's also a big rivalry with SEC and the ACC. So
Mississippi State ranked 18th in the country, so they'll want their best for that game. Here's Murphy. Coming off the bench today, getting some rest before Sunday's big game. Her floater into the area. Looked like it might have been touched by a defender out for a corner. It was looking for Silva and Osborne. Everybody getting involved up front for the Deeks here down the stretch. 3.5 to go.
Virginia beats Penn State 2-1. That's gone final. Just to give you a little update on scores. And Florida State leading 1-0 early against Rice.
Sierra Scythe will take this corner. Everybody wants to get involved in the attack, so much so that nobody wanted to actually go take the corner. They all smell blood in the water. Headed back in by Silva over the head of Osborne, and a foul is called.
Interesting score. Campbell leading NC State 1-0. NC State with some turnover from last year, but a team we didn't talk about in the halftime segment, but they've been able to put stout sides on the pitch year after year.
Temple getting forward, just can't get numbers in support of the attack. Although a throw in here will help. It's been a tough day for the Owls, but they're making the most of this time here, trying to get some experience. Comes in and easily handled by Paige Nurkin. Under 2 minutes to go, Deacs lead 4-0. Final result not in question really since the hour mark of this game. It's just a question of how much. DeMarinis a little too far forward for Emily Murphy. Foul by Dawkins. Temple will throw it all forward here for the final minute plus. See if they can break this duck and ruin the clean sheet for the Deacs. With a minute left, here's Alex Wood trying to build forward a little bit more. Dump and chase ahead for Osborne. It's going to be a tough foot race for her to get there first. She manages to challenge for it, though. Keeps it in play. What a move to get by Maggie Rupke. Just can't get the cross right. That was a brilliant little touch around the defender. Mina. Murphy onto her right. Will she let it fly? Right-footed shot is blocked. And out for a corner with 25 seconds to go. Deacs will take their time to ensure that this one is the last kick of the game. And here come the center backs to get in the mix as well. Ansborough is in. Kate Dopsch is up there as well. Scythe takes the right-footed corner. There's Ansborough off the top of her head. It loops forward. Kept in play. Murphy with a shot saved at the buzzer. And that's where we finish. 4-0. The Wake Forest women's side emphatically winning the home open.
You can do a lot in this game of soccer.
It sets them up nicely.